Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here. We are doing a live commentary, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys just how I think the next Grand Theft Auto Online DLC is going to work based off of the way Rockstar has actually hinted at it to us. So if we jump to the newswire right now, you'll see this message by Rockstar. We've obviously talked about this in the past. They said, and while loyal MCs will fight to expand their foothold alongside black-collar CEOs and organization, there's always another opportunity to make your mark just around the corner. So what they're talking about is what I'm assuming is another DLC coming soon. And since we've already had bikers, that's going to be next. They say keep an eye out for high-level, high-risk, vehicle-based business ventures to spring up across Los Santos and Blaine County soon. Okay, so when I immediately heard that, the first thing I jumped to was exporting and importing like super high-end vehicles, which is something we already kind of have in the game from Simeon. He'll actually call us and he will allow us to bring a car to his lockup, but they're really like low-end vehicles and they'll only get you a limited amount of money. And what I kind of thought is it would work very similar to hauling and storing very rare supercars. And there's actually kind of a cool mod that I'm going to show you guys how that could actually work right now. So this is the mod right here. It's the car carrier trailer mod. You can see we can spawn a car carrier. We can detach a trailer, raise, release ramp, lower and raise the top deck, repair the trailer, and attach and detach a vehicle. So let's actually go ahead and spawn a hauler right now. As you can see, this is the kind of trucks that I'm talking about we would use. And now we can basically do is then just spawn some vehicles and get them onto this trailer right now. All right, so just for this example, you can see we've now got our 6 supercars that are ready to be loaded up here. And this is kind of what I would imagine you would end up doing. You would be responsible for grabbing these vehicles and getting them on the truck, and then it would be your job to then import or export them to a certain location. So this, of course, is just a mod, but I think it is a pretty cool example of what we could do. So let's actually release the ramp right now. You can see that's going to drop down. Let's do the top first. We're going to lower the top ramp. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to drive this vehicle up here like so. And if we bring that all the way to the front, you can see, boom, we are good to go. And now what we're going to do is just attach it to the top front right there. And you can see it is now locked into place. And I'm assuming you would do that for all the vehicles. I don't know how many you would get in each one, but kind of like the CEO and the biker stuff now, there's typically more than one package that you have to pick up when you're doing these missions. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to fill up this entire truck just to kind of show you guys how it will ultimately end up looking like. And then we'll actually talk about how some of the other functions of this DLC could work as well. But once again, we're just going to drive it into place. We're going to attach it to the top middle deck, and boom, we now have 2 of 2 supercars secured on the trailer. So now that we've got the top level done, what we can actually do is now raise the top deck just like that. And now we can start working on the lower deck. So let's fill those up right now. All right, and we're going to be bringing our final vehicle onto the trailer right now. You can see we've got a full 6 of 6. We're going to attach it right here to the lower rear deck. And what's really cool about this mod as well, and I'm sure Rockstar can maybe learn a thing or two from this, is it even tells you what vehicle we got. We have on the lower deck the Infernus, the Zentorno, the T20, Osiris, Entity, and Adder. And that is a full ride right there. So you can see we can do all sorts of things right there. If we wanted to detach the trailer, we could. Release or raise the ramp, we could as well. We have absolutely no need to do that because we have ourselves a full trailer right here of 6 supercars. And once we have that, now, like I said, this is where I could see us making the transition to dropping them off to a buyer. So like I said, if we have the biker stuff right now where we have to deliver it from point A to point B, this could be the exact same thing right here. It could be the exact same feature where very similarly, instead of the CEO missions where we try and steal products or jewelry or TVs or whatnot, it would be our job to steal the cars. Once we have a full amount, I don't know whether it would be like a truck bed full of 6 or whether it would be an entire warehouse of them, then that's when you do the sell mission. And that kind of fits right into the theme. Not only does it cover businesses, because it would take the exact same thing that we've been doing with the biker stuff and the CEO stuff, it would also cover vehicles, but it would also be high risk, high reward. I would imagine that the supercars you would be selling would be worth millions of dollars, yet also look at them right now. They're exposed on a trailer, and this is the biggest eyesore of them all. Red, orange, bright blue, purple, yellow, and green supercars going down the highway. You don't think that's going to draw the attention of, everyone in the lobby that wants to ruin your fun? So I can see Rockstar having to kind of balance that out there, but they've already given us the warning that it's going to be definitely high risk and certainly high reward as well, which is cool because that kind of opens up the door for more money-making opportunities. I think Rockstar's wanted to pace themselves here with how much money they're giving out on the biker and the CEO stuff, but I think with this one, they might be willing to let go a little bit and really give us a really cool look at how much money we could potentially make from a system like this. And like I said, I think this feature would be awesome. I love the mission that we got to do this in single player. I think you were doing something very, very similar for Devin Weston. So that just means that it's not out of Rockstar's realm of possibility in order to try and do something like this. We obviously saw a single player mission that looked very, very similar to this right here. You worked with Devin Weston, you stole a bunch of cars, and in the end, you made him really, really rich. Now, I'm assuming in the online situation, we'd be making our online characters very, very rich. But regardless, I still think this is a very, very cool thing. And as always, like the CEO and the biker stuff, I could see us going out to some pretty crazy and exotic locations like up here near Sandy Shores and Palito Bay and delivering it to some scrap garages, or maybe even like delivering them to the shore and then someone loads them on, like, let's say a boat or a cargo plane or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool if you delivered this stuff to Trevor's Airfield and then you basically just had a giant cargo plane that you were airlifting these things in. I mean, that is really, really awesome. And obviously, this is just one example right here. It's a pretty simple mod where you, like I said, you can detach the trailer if you want. So that's another thing we could do. You wouldn't even have to necessarily load them off if you just had to detach them on a spot, like in a glowing circle, and then that would be that. That's all you had to do. You didn't even have to worry about the selling them. You just had to get them to the location itself. Now, I wasn't even intentionally going to think about this, but this is one really good example right here. Obviously, this is a spot with like a ton of detached trailers. I didn't even think about this. Let's say your job was to get it over here and then just kind of like drop it off. I'm obviously one of the worst drivers of all time, but if we just kind of back it up right there, detach the trailer, and then boom, and then maybe your job will be to escape the cops. So the only way to escape the cops would maybe be to jump away really quickly like this. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and honestly, I believe that's how this vehicle-based business venture stuff is going to work in Grand Theft Auto Online. I think it's going to work exactly like this, where it's going to be your responsibility to load up these cars, load them up however you want, and basically just get them out of town. So I think it's going to be really awesome, and I also think it will be an amazing opportunity for Rockstar to add, obviously, more supercars and whatnot into the game as well, or more cars that I guess are going to be worth a lot more. So we'll see. That's kind of cool. What I also want to move on to next is show you guys some cool chop shop locations that have actually been going around and that I think are really awesome as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at those right now. All right, so the first chop shop location is actually in kind of an industrial area, and we've actually brought this place up in the past. So this isn't something completely new that I've brought to your guys' attention right here, but it's this kind of chop shop right here. I thought this was going to be used for Grand Theft Auto Online bikers in some way, shape, and form. Oh my gosh, what have we done here? All right, we're just going to hop out. I thought this was going to be used for Grand Theft Auto Online bikers in some way, shape, or form, and it's this chop shop right here. And you can see in single player, it's been updated. Yes, this is in single player right now. The garage door is missing. There's this door over here that's been missing, and you can now go inside. And I'm not even using any mods here that would make this happen. If you guys remember this spot, this garage door was here. Obviously, there was a door here that was blocking this off. So that is extremely weird that this has actually been updated in-game, and now you can see straight through it. And if I were to walk forward, I would certainly fall through the map like I just did right there. And a couple other users on the GTA Forum site have also confirmed findings like this, that this chop shop and this auto body shop has been upgraded or updated in some way, shape, or form, and that had to have been done by Rockstar. So that, once again, is very, very interesting stuff right here, that this chop shop has actually gotten an update, and we might actually be seeing this used in that vehicle-based business update. Maybe we have to do something to the cars to modify them or break them down or even build them up per se before they can be sold. So maybe we acquire the cars, they're in pretty bad shape, we bring them to this chop shop, they're ready to go, we load them on the trailer, we bring them to the location, we get paid. Maybe that's how it's going to work. I'm not sure, but it's very odd that this building got an update and we don't really know what's happened either. So another interesting chop shop that might work really well is actually this place right here. It's called Albany Autos, I believe. And the only problem with this is in online, there's actually a garage here. It's called Mosley Auto Service. This could be another really cool chop shop location right here. Obviously, Simeon uses this for some of his missions. So I don't know who's going to be leading this. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Devin Weston made an appearance in Grand Theft Auto Online to lead us on this, because he was the mastermind behind this in the single player campaign. But it has a pretty cool area where we could like back vehicles into. If I was a good driver at all, I'd be able to back the vehicles in there. But clearly I am not. So that, of course, is one location right there. It's Mosley's Auto Service. It's kind of located next to Grove Street. So if you're wondering where this is and wanted to check it out for yourself, that's another place you could go and look at for a little bit. And finally, last but not least today, we've got this place that I also noticed, and it's called Glass Heroes. And it also kind of has like an import/export warehouse kind of feel to it. Like you would be able to bring cars here. It's got this obviously big open space where we would be able to turn around tractor trailers and load them up. So you got to be looking for places like this. And it's also right behind Benny's as well, which could be kind of ironic and kind of convenient too. But once again, that's really all I wanted to show you guys in this video, is just how that high vehicle, high business venture risk reward business thing could work in Grand Theft Auto Online. And ultimately, that's how I think it's going to go down. I think it's going to go down hauling trailers and whatnot. It ultimately might end up using other vehicles as well. Here's a couple other examples. This comes from the Twitter user XXII. These are not real GTA 5 vehicles, but instead of using tractor trailers, they might use something like this, where they're like big brute stockades and whatnot. And someone even created a pretty cool like logo for the concept very similar to this as well. I'll show it to you guys on the screen right now so you can take a look at it right before we go. But anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Let me know if you think that would be a good idea in the comment section down below. I think it would be pretty awesome, and this DLC is going to be really cool. So I'm hoping we get some more details on that pretty soon. Anyways, though, if you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. So drop a like right now. That would be amazing. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.